Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy J Red, and today I'm bringing you some of the 2017 lottery mock draft predictions on ESPN.com. If you guys want to try this out for yourself, I'll put the link down in the description below. You can play along around with this. You can find out what Chad Ford thinks of this. He's along with ESPN Insider. I'm probably going to be doing this all the way up until the mock draft, which is on Tuesday, May 16th at 8 p.m. on ESPN. I will be recording the lottery mock draft to see who will most likely be drafting number one, and then continue to do mock drafts, give my predictions, do probably some videos on some of the prospects like Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, Josh Jackson, Malik Monk, Dennis Smith, De'Aaron Fox. I mean, this draft class is guard heavy. I'm just going to say that now. And the Boston Celtics, they're projected to get the number one pick with a 25% chance ever since the Brooklyn Nets traded away their picks for basically veteran players back in like that 2012-2013 season. I don't know. It was a bad trade. Brooklyn Nets, they're in a terrible situation. Boston's in a very good situation right now. They could most likely have the number one pick this year. But enough with me messing around. Let's play the lottery. And here are all the prospects up on the board. If you guys have this pulled up right now, you can play along with me at home as well. And without further ado, let's play this lottery. So, and it looks like with this, the first one, Markelle Fultz is the number one pick from the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have a 5.3% chance of getting the number one pick. Now, let's take a look at this description. Now, Fultz, he checks every box as an NBA prospect. I'll agree with that. He's a good athlete with size and length. He can play and defend multiple positions. He can shoot the three and handle the ball. He has character, a high basketball IQ, and no major flaws in his game. I'll agree 100%. Markelle Fultz or Lonzo Ball can be the number one pick. In my opinion, Markelle Fultz, you can't go wrong with him. He is definitely a great player. And I think he's very much NBA ready. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, if they get the number one pick and they pick Markelle Fultz, watch out for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Because if they get Markelle Fultz, they also have Zach LaVine, Andrew Wiggins, and Karl Anthony Towns. Imagine if Markelle Fultz is picked by them. Look out for the Minnesota Timberwolves next year. That is going to be crazy. Now, as you can tell, there's a replay lottery. I will not do that. I will do it for tomorrow's NBA draft lottery. But I just want to give you guys what these predictions are for the very first one. So let's go on to the next one. With the second pick, Lonzo Ball from UCLA. And Ball, I'll agree, he is the best passer in the draft. He's ultra competitive and he plays with a special swagger. While his jump shot is unorthodox, I'll agree with that. It is a very weird jump shot. Never seen something like that before. It goes in at a high rate. I can't talk. I'll agree with that. He's like Steph Curry. His shot is pretty good. Now, if LeVar Ball could keep his mouth shut, Lonzo Ball could probably be a really good player for the Orlando Magic. I think him being on the Orlando Magic, I think that would be much better than Elfrid Payton. The Orlando Magic wouldn't have to mess with Elfrid Payton anymore. They could get rid of Elfrid. They could have Lonzo at the starting point guard, and they could have him and Aaron Gordon along with who else is on that team? Terrence Ross, and then Evan Fournier. That's some shooting right there. And plus Lonzo Ball, he made UCLA from like a mediocre team to one of the best teams last season. So if Lonzo Ball could do that, he could certainly do that for the Orlando Magic. With the number 3 pick, Josh Jackson from Kansas to the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, Jackson is the best wing in the draft. I'll agree with that. He is athletic, play free positions. I can't talk, guys. Type in the comments, J-Red sucks. Let's get that trending. But anyway, it says Jackson is the best wing, and he's long and athletic and play 3 positions. I'll agree with that. Josh Jackson is a pretty good player. He's inconsistent through improving jump shot is a concern. I'll agree with that. He is kind of inconsistent, especially when I saw some games from him. But he really is a special prospect. You don't see too many small forwards like Josh Jackson. So if the Los Angeles Lakers do pick up Josh Jackson, that's going to be very interesting for the Lakers because they already have D'Angelo Russell and Jordan Clarkson. They have Brandon Ingram. If they could get Josh Jackson, they could play a little small ball if they wanted to. Put Josh Jackson at the four, and then put who's their starting center? Zubats. Oh man, that'd be a solid starting lineup. That wouldn't be playoff material, but at least it'd be an improvement. Josh Jackson, it'd be an all right fit for the Lakers, but I think I see him elsewhere, like this next team I was going to talk about, the Boston Celtics. But we'll talk about it later in another lottery. This is the current one right now. Jason Tatum from Duke, small forward, and he is a very dominant small forward. If you have not seen him at Duke, you missed out on a great player because Jason Tatum, he was unstoppable. I saw a lot of gameplay, and he just cannot be contained. He really is that good. He is athletic, strong, and he is a skilled scorer. And he is told that he could be a dominant NBA 3. But one thing that does lack him is a pedestrian three-point shooting. So if he shoots too many threes, that could be a huge problem for Boston if they do decide to take Jason Tatum at the number 4 spot, which wouldn't be too much of a concern. Jason Tatum still has room to grow. Now, Jonathan Isaac from Florida State, small forward. I've not heard about much of this guy, but I did see the NCAA tournament, and when I saw him play, he was pretty good. Not going to lie, Jonathan Isaac, he's not Jason Tatum and Josh Jackson good, but he's all right. He's still going to be lottery in my opinion, but he's not going to be like dominant like I think Josh Jackson and Jason Tatum would. So I'll nothing much to say about Jonathan Isaac. With the number 6 pick, Malik Monk over De'Aaron Fox to the 76ers. Now, I've heard about this. Monk, I'll agree. He is the best pure shooter in this draft. He has good deep range, and his athleticism is really good. But if he's on fire, he can't be stopped. But other than that, he's an average rebounder, defender, and passer. But if you could get some points out of Malik Monk, the 76ers are going to be great in a few years. They already have TJ McConnell, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid, and Dario Saric. They need Malik Monk in this. I think 76ers drafting Malik is a good thing for the 76ers. And Malik, he's going to fit right in and most likely turn the 76ers franchise around. Now, De'Aaron Fox, we already know about this kid. Kentucky guard. He's a little bit undersized at the guard spot. But if he could gain muscle, if he could work out over the summer, gain a little bit more muscle, oh, man, you better watch out for De'Aaron. If the New York Knicks pick this guy up, watch out. Watch out. Because De'Aaron Fox, he already has the skill set to be a great shooting point guard. But his quickness and ball handling are pretty unstoppable. But thing is, he needs to gain that weight. He's a little bit undersized. He does have the right height, but his weight is a little bit of a concern. If he could gain that muscle and get up to at least 200 pounds, maybe even 190, he'd be unstoppable. So I think De'Aaron's going to be fine. If he goes to the New York Knicks, then he could develop pretty nicely. Dennis Smith. Now, I've heard about this kid, and he is probably one of the most what's the word I'm looking for? Probably the most highly prospected player with the most potential. This kid has so much potential in the world. Like Markelle Fultz, we already know he's going to be NBA ready. But Dennis Smith, if he could develop right, if he could play under the Sacramento Kings system, his potential is going to skyrocket. Like he already has so much potential to be probably one of the best point guards to replace Chris Paul. But we're going to have to wait and see when the draft comes. Now, Frank Ntilikina, I don't know how to say his name. I don't know much about him from France. 6'5", he's pretty tall at the point guard spot. This is really guard heavy. Let's move on to the next one. I've heard about this kid. He is probably going to be a stretch 4, and I don't know much about him. So let's just move on. Zach Collins. This kid out of Gonzaga, he's pretty good, I'll say, being the power forward. So, or he's either the power forward. He says he's a center, but he's either a power forward in the starting lineup, or he's the backup to Karnowski at Gonzaga. And he was pretty versatile. He was good in the post when I saw him play in the NCAA tournament. So Zach Collins, I don't know if he should be in the lottery, but that's just my opinion. All those Gonzaga fans, if you guys have something to back it up about Zach Collins being a lottery pick, just tell me down in the comment section below. I just don't think Zach Collins he's good, but he's not great enough to be a lottery. That's just my opinion. Now, Harry Giles, he really fell off the map for Duke. Now, he had a series of knee injuries, which we can't really blame him for that. It's just how things happen in the NBA. Like, players develop injuries that really change them. But Harry Giles is really a great player. If he comes back, if he goes to the Detroit Pistons, I swear that will be the greatest moment for me as being a Pistons fan, because I've been waiting so long for a great power forward to enter this league for the Detroit Pistons, because we only have John Lure. If we get Harry Giles, Detroit Pistons, they're going to have a great front court with Andre Drummond and Harry Giles, if he develops right. Plus, he has a lot of potential, too. It's a shame that he had knee injuries in college, but I think he's going to rise back up and be something special with the Detroit Pistons. Jared Allen, I don't know him that much, but I will go to the final lottery spot with the Miami Heat. TJ Leaf. Stretch 4, the second-hand man for Lonzo Ball. He would always sit in the corner. If Lonzo Ball passed out to TJ Leaf, that was going in every time. He is a gifted offensive player. He can score it anywhere, but thing that he lacks is defense, but he makes up for it by being an offensive threat. When I saw TJ Leaf and Lonzo Ball play against Kentucky in the NCAA tournament and even in the regular season, TJ Leaf scared me by how much he could shoot the ball outside for being a stretch 4. So, if he's drafted with the Miami Heat, this is going to be a pretty amazing fight. Goran Dragic, Dion Waiters, Justice Winslow, TJ Leaf, and Hassan Whiteside. That's a good young starting lineup for the Miami Heat. And plus, the Miami Heat, they're getting better, especially with the rise of Goran Dragic and Dion Waiters, and the leadership of Hassan Whiteside, and the coming back of Justice Winslow, who, in my opinion, has the best potential to be a great small forward, along with the selection of TJ Leaf. That would be amazing. That would be a good pickup for the Miami Heat. So, like I said, guys, this is the 2017 lottery mock draft. We will not know much about the mock drafts until we find out on Tuesday, May 16th at 8 p.m. on ESPN, when we find out whose picks are in order. But this is a pretty good start to the rundown of who might get what. If the Minnesota Timberwolves get Markelle Fultz, watch out for them. Watch out for them. They might just be good. You never know. But we're going to replay the lottery tomorrow, see what changes up. We're even going to check out the scouting reports as well for each team, because I didn't get to do that. Like I said, this will be a pretty good chance that this is pretty much accurate. We're not saying it's accurate right now, but it looks pretty accurate so far. But just in 2 weeks, we find out who gets what pick. So I'm going to come out with another episode tomorrow. It's going to continue up until we get to the lottery draft, and then continue up until we get to the NBA draft. So hopefully you guys stick around to see what I pick for my mock drafts and get my thoughts and feelings on each prospect. So as always, guys, have an awesome day, and I'll see you all later.